Remember Me is a show about the sudden rise to fame.
From tabloid chaos
to early internet madness.
I'm Maisie Adam.
I'm Scott Bryan.
And this is Remember Me. We're joined by a gladiator. It's only Hunter.
Catch up. Hello and welcome to Remember Me.
Matt Terry.
Yay!
From Liberty X, it's Kelli Young. So Solid crew legend, Lisa Maffia. It's Nadia Almada. Thank you so much.
Hey, how are you?
X Factor star Honey G. Where did the decision to become a rapper, to become Honey G, where did that stem from?
Well, my name, Honey G, came from my DJ name. One of my friends at university actually came up with the name Honey G, and I said, well, why Honey G? And he said, because you're sweet like honey. And I'm like, okay, all right then, whatever you say.
My full name is Patrick Sharpin.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. And I changed it when I started DJing to be Pat Sharp because I needed it to be more punchy.
And it was,
and I
literally
do,
by default.
Our son, our eldest, who's nearly 40 now, when he was about 2, if I went to Chessington World of Adventures with him, you get these people coming up and asking for autographs because no one had a phone, so no one did a quick picture. They just did, have your autograph? Can I have your autograph? And I was there like all day. And he would tug my trouser leg going, Pat Sharp, hurry up.
No.
Because he heard people saying, look, it's Pat Sharp.
Hurry up, Pat Sharp.
Yes, that's what he said, yeah.
Oh, bless him. Bless him. I can't believe Patrick Sharpin.
No, that's me. I am Patrick Sharpin, yeah.
What's a common misconception that people might have about fame?
That fame equates to happiness. It does not. That equates to monetary money. It may come with that, but fame doesn't necessarily equate having like 7 figures. Fame does not equate love. It does not equate any of those things. Fame is actually the worst side of being a public person.
Okay.
Your inner saboteur, because you start becoming almost like a drug. I guess, I don't know. I've never done drugs, kids. So I don't know what that is.
But you crave it.
Yeah, that's the idea. The whole craving. I guess because you like having a cigarette. I don't know. But
She's never had a cigarette.
never. I've
Never
smoked.
do any of those.
No. But fame is that destroys your soul, your integrity, I believe. That's in my understanding, as I saw it.
Yeah.
When I was 6 or 7, I was crying and crying and crying in the back of the car because my parents were trying to get me to go to an autograph signing of the Gladiators. I've no idea whether you were included at a All Sports, I think in High Wycombe.
Yeah.
And we had turned up and it had just ended. And I wasn't able to go and get them. And I was inconsolable and I cried for the rest of the day.
Oh, no.
That's awful.
It is awful.
But it's those sorts of appearances you'd be doing.
So yeah,
Sports
it tended to be
stores. Dropped in my trauma
Yeah.
there.
It wasn't really
Let him down,
nightclubs
Scott.
at that point. It was more a bowling alley.
Right,
Or,
sure.
Bowling alley.
Or we went. One of the best ones I did was Euro Disney. We opened Space Mountain on
Whoa.
Euro Disney.
That is incredible.
They were so varied because you never knew what they were going to be. But they were often you're obviously promoting something. It might be these truck fests. You'd drive 5 hours to a truck fest and there'd be a helicopter waiting for you. And that would take you 50 meters. And I'm arriving by helicopter, Hunter and Jet. They kept taking 5 hours to get here. Could you not at least go from? And then there'd be this big truck and then 5 hours back. So that's how we made our money. It wasn't from the filming. We didn't make loads from the filming.
Really?
It was from the appearances, yeah.
And did you have your baby with you?
No, so what was happening before the music started really taking off and I realised I can no longer work in this off license.
Yeah.
And I also need to ask my mum if she can look after my child
Yeah.
because I'm out from morning to night on these radio tours and school tours and magazine shoots and
my
TV shows and radio tours. It was just madness. Just before that, I had my baby at 17. I took this job in an off license, and I decided to go back to college and do photography and art and design because my goal was to become a photographer.
Yeah.
So that I could still have my baby right by my side until she went to school, and that was the plan.
Yeah.
And this song had started building, and suddenly customers were no longer customers, they were fans, and they were coming
That
in.
is so
Turning up at
wild.
your work.
Turning up at
Which is
work.
wild because you've got nowhere to go. You know, you're like, are you going to
I'm
buy those
still-
packets of ciggies or what?
Well, singles back then, we used to sell them for 25p. No.
I mean, now.
Oh,
Yeah. So I got to a point where I knew I could no longer get my child benefit and social security. I had to go and get a full-time job.
Yeah.
Or it was wait until this music works, because I can't do both. And I
Yeah.
can't no longer work in this offer license, because I've now got fans coming in to take photos and ask me to sign autographs. And I've got my baby here, and I'm supposed to be working, and I can't do this anymore. And it's starting to become tedious, because now my daughter's coming of age. So
Yeah,
now my
yeah.
daughter's almost 2.
She's aware of
and
it,
she's
yeah.
nearly 3 now, and now she's nearly 4, and it's starting to become scary to me, because now I've got a shop full of kids that want me to sing my part from Oh No Sense.
What bands do you think you influenced?
that is a great question, Scott.
I don't
Really
think
good.
I've ever been asked that question before.
Well done.
I think we were just heavily influenced by, I wouldn't necessarily say by any particular bands necessarily, but by the music that we were listening to in the clubs at the time.
Right.
So I think we were all massively into R&B at
Yeah.
the time, which is possibly one of the reasons why they didn't pick a few of us for Hearsay.
Yeah.
Because I think we were definitely, you know, like me, Jess, Kevin's got such a soulful voice, and they had Pure and Simple
Yeah.
as the song. So I think we didn't fit in that sort of like straight pop
Yes.
kind of.
And was there like a narrative that R&B wouldn't sell?
Yeah,
Really?
100. I can tell you a story around that if you want.
Yeah.
So Nigel Lithgow took us to have a meeting with Simon Cowell in that period of time
Yes.
where we were, you know, he was saying he was going to help us find a deal. So we went and saw Simon, and we chatted about he asked us a lot about what we wanted to be, and we were talking about our influences being R&B pop, at which his eyes just glazed over. It was mostly Tony doing the talking in that meeting at that time. And when we left the meeting, Nigel said to us, you know, Simon's really interested in signing you, but he wants to sign you without Kelli. He doesn't see you doing R&B. He doesn't think it will sell. And he thinks Kelly's the influencing factor in wanting to do that sound. And Nigel was like, don't worry, because there's lots of opportunities coming in for Kelli on her own. So, you know, have a think about it. And then he just like shut the car door, and we were all just sat there like, and at the time, you know, Simon Cowell was the biggest A&R in the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
So I was a bit like, well, he's sort of dropped that R&B is not going to work, and these 4 are going to want to sign with him because he's the biggest A&R in the game. He could literally make them stars. And also, it wasn't me.
Yeah, Tony had done all the talking.
Tony did most of the talking in that meeting, and also we all felt that R&B would suit our
Yes. Yeah.
style of vocal. So, you know.
How
anyway.
did that make you feel?
To be honest with you, with hindsight, I never heard it out of Simon's actual mouth. So it was secondhand
Yeah.
information. So I don't know, you know, how true it was. But at the time, it made me feel a bit like, you know, well, trying to get the black one out of the band, let's be fair. Thinking that she's the one who is making everyone want to
Yeah.
do this R&B sound. The reaction of the band, everyone was just like, well, we don't want to split up. We want to do this thing together. Like, we know what we want to do, right? And I was like, oh, thank God.
Did that mean the world?
Yeah, it meant the
Yeah.
world. And it solidified the fact that we were a team then. It was just like, yeah, and let's go and make this sound that we want to make. Let's go and do this thing.
God, that's wild.
That is
when you
wild.
think like R&B at that time as well was like,
It was, I mean, it was.
Why would it not have
It was
worked?
just starting to cross over, I think.
Yeah.
You know, because we were coming out of late 90s was sort of like, you know, Spice Girls, Westlife, S
Yeah.
Club.
I love my early 2000s. I look back and at it and I remember it fondly. There was
Yeah.
a lot of lows and a lot of self-hatred and a lot of growth and a lot of, you know, soul searching.
some
and...
good looks. Some good looks.
Do you remember they do this sort of a big
The,
belt,
like gladiator belt kind
Oh.
of thing. Yeah, yeah. You
and
don't
the
miss that?
foundation and the Yeah, I guess I still do. I'm still like a Scouser. I love a Scouser
Really?
brow.
A Scouse brow?
Yeah, and I love the whole heavy lash because I don't know how to curl
I
my
think the
lashes.
Scouse brow transcends time,
Babe,
though, doesn't it?
that was. I love the
Sorry, I'm a bit
Scouse
confused.
brow.
What is a Scouse brow?
Oh,
Scouse brow.
sorry.
You know the phrase "less is more."
Yeah.
That didn't reach Liverpool.
No.
You just put it all on, and it's thick, heavy, and high.
Yeah,
Isn't it? The
I
bigger
love
the
that.
better.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Katie Price's eyebrows.
Got you.
That's
Okay,
sort
fine.
of
I think
Scouse
she's
brow, isn't it?
recently has redone them, so you might.
Katie Price getting work done? No. No.
See, actually, that fame, that's a goal. That's again an intangible sort of standards and sort of curated
Yeah.
lifestyle. That whole sort of self love and seeing yourself having a couple more wrinkles, a little bit more skin, a little bit of body changes.
Yeah.
After 20 years.
Yeah.
Just a pre-warning. Like,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Nadia.
Just prepare yourself. Everything is gonna drop, and I miss it. You're gonna drop. You're gonna drop. Okay, so.
Oh my word.
No, listen. We must. This is the information we need to hear. When you get to your 40s, your body gonna go all types of shapes and sizes. So again, fame. That would, and I'm still kind of retain a little bit of my face movement, a little bit. I don't know how I've been. I guess maybe it's because I kept myself. I don't know. But Katie Price has really gone.
Well, yeah, and it's this
The opposite,
It's
isn't
sort
it?
of the result of a career that's been your looks at the forefront
Yeah.
of everything, scrutinized
Yeah.
over and over and over again, and it's a constant search of perfection, isn't it? That
Yeah.
doesn't exist.
And also, I guess there's also like that validation that she's
Yeah.
seeking, and I
Yeah.
guess that's where there is a cost to pay.
I had a time like this is awful as well, and I'm in a car, and I go to get out, and the door locks, and this is hand on my heart, truth. We need to talk. I'm like, okay, yeah. So I'm getting a lot of questions from a lot of people. So I'm gonna laugh because it's so ridiculous. From a lot of people in the industry, and I'm out here, keyword, defending you, saying that you're not. But everyone in the industry is asking me if you're gay. And I'm here defending you, saying you're not. So you better tell me right now, defending. You better tell me right now if you are or not. Because if you are, and it turns out that you are, I'm going to have a big egg on my face. All because of you.
Oh my
Can you believe
God.
that's my manager?
Oh my God. Locking the car to say it as well.
Yeah. Do you understand?
Oh
Prisoner.
my God.
So it's fucked. I was just a bit like, that in that moment, that's when I woke up.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
like, no one cares about me right now.
You only got paid if you work. So if you made that track, that's the track you're getting. If you perform on stage, then you're going to get paid. If you've written a song, you're going to get your royalties. It was pretty basic. So,
Yeah.
But the only thing is that hence why it went from Oh No to 21 Seconds is because we knew there was me and Romeo on that track and Mega was the
Yeah.
BV on that as well. And he actually, he didn't write it. That was one of his lyrics. It's just the little things, the sentimental things in life. That was his lyric.
You
That
would get a
was his
concert.
lyric that he used to sing as an MC. And that's the song, that's the lyrics that I ended up performing on
Yeah.
Oh No. But we knew, myself, Romeo, Mega, and the rest of the crew, that there was all these other artists that were part of our crew that weren't getting the shine.
Yeah.
It literally was all eyes on me, Mega, and Romeo. So we decided that we needed to do something about that. And G-Man, one of the head of So Solid, he came back and he said, did you realise if we all had 21 seconds on a track, we could all fit 10 artists on a track because a track is, I think, 3 minutes, 20 something.
Mm-hmm.
So we knew by giving every single person 21 seconds to
I
perform.
told you it would come up.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's my
in the,
favourite fact.
in the intro we did before you arrived, we talked about how it was.
Bring it up at every dinner
but I
party.
had I'm fascinated by the logic behind
Yes.
it,
G-Man
Yeah.
is an absolute wizard.
Yeah.
What an absolute G.
and then it's
Yeah.
democratic,
Yes.
and then it also becomes a massive hit.
Yes.
Like pretty much immediately.
Yes.
Could you tell when you were recording it that it was going to be a massive hit?
No.
Seriously?
In fact, I hated the song.
Why?
I don't know. I just couldn't dance to it. It was so fast. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. Obviously, their boys did, and thank God they did, because it was our biggest hit to today.
So I was training 5-6 days a week at 12. I was cycling
Oh my
4 miles to the gym after school and then 4 miles back. And then by the time I was 15, I was a tank, you know.
Yeah.
So I entered teenage Mr. York at Mecca Bingo. And the great thing about Mecca Bingo is they had plants on the stage. So you didn't have to have calves because you couldn't see the lower leg.
Hide amongst the bonsai.
Yeah, exactly.
What a thrill to miss leg day.
Yeah,
once
exactly.
again. I mean, my nightmare.
Nobody in York had carbs. But the crazy thing was, everybody was a bodybuilder. So nowadays you go to I haven't been to a bodybuilding show for years, but you see them like 10, 12 people. You'd have like 30 people in a
Yeah,
class, you know,
yeah.
wrapped on this stage. It looks like the postman was a bodybuilder, the milkman was a bodybuilder, the candlestick maker was a bodybuilder.
You missed the mullet.
No.
It was so distinctive.
Yeah.
And when it grew out, it was phenomenal. I highly recommend going onto Google Images to go
I
and
think
see
people
it.
like now, because we've had this resurgence of
Yeah,
mullets, people
yeah.
go sort of like, are you aiming on a scale of 1 to Pat Sharp?
Sharp.
Yeah.
Like,
Well-
you're a reference point for mullets everywhere.
Well, the best thing I've seen recently, and there's quite a few references over the years, is a thing where Temu yesterday was selling a mullet wig for your cat, and it was called a Pat Sharp cat sharp wig.
Perfect.
And
And if you're not buying that, what are you doing with your life?
exactly.
Come on.
Come on, Timu.
People would just make the assumption that we were a manufactured band, and we just
Yeah.
had to sort of.
So they would never believe you when you said we made this record.
I don't think it was that they didn't believe us. We just often didn't have the opportunity to get that message out there.
So when the success came, like when you, I mean, take for example the Brit Award, like that must have felt such a, frankly, 2 fingers up to
Yeah.
the doubters, the people that had labelled you flop stars, the people that had kind of suggested that this wasn't going to work.
And the winner is Liberty X for Just a Little.
Does anyone now remember Hearsay? Liberty X do, and as you can see, they are laughing all the way to the winner's podium.
It was amazing. Brit Awards night was incredible, and also we won Best Single, which was voted for by
Yeah.
the public. So it just felt like, right, the industry can't stop us
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
It's the
course.
public like it. That's the whole point of it.
Friday night is myself and a good movie, very, very comfortable loungewear, with my newfound body with drop, no bra. I'm still living in the pandemic years.
Oh, yes,
I see.
yes,
yeah.
Because no,
But a Friday night will be that kind of situation for me,
Yeah, yeah,
which I love.
yeah,
It's my own prerogative
yeah.
to be smelling like, cat piss and have 10 cats if I wanted to.
you have 10. I know you don't have.
No,
10
I don't.
cats. Okay,
I'm
okay.
actually kind of like
She
a.
has no cats but still smells of cat piss. Why?
No, but
Wow.
well, where we going with that?
I have
forgot.
not a clue.
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I love the idea that I keep being thorn every year.
Yes.
But I would love, and I'll be very happy to pass on that crown
Yeah.
to the next future. A strong, trans or cisgender
Yeah.
woman that kind of have that strength in her. I would be happy to kind of pass on that baton.
Are you a hopeful person?
I'm morbidly pessimistic, but I'm also. Oh yes, talking about morbid. This living with 10 cats and smelling of cat piss. I have this new thing. I don't know what it is. I don't want to be found dirty or in a messy house.
Oh, when you're dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you get to hear stories.
Yeah, you want to
And
be
you
found glamorous.
You see, like, is this how they fucking live?
Yeah.
It looks like a shithole. Do you know what I mean? This is like a crack den's house, whatever
Yes.
it is. I've never been to one, but I'm
So
assuming.
if ever you get like a bad cold, do you really clean the house just in case it finishes you
I
off?
do everything because if anything, they might not find the full me. It might be a diluted version of me, but
But you'll have a nice house.
yes,
Yes. Yeah.
everything is folded, everything is tucked away.
Good. I think we end there. I think that's the perfect note to end on.
I thought we were about to talk about recycling and sorting out your bins.
No, I do all of that. It's quite neurotic with me. I don't know. We need a psychologist here. No, I need my spiritual advice. I need to call them right now.
I shot for Vogue. That's how big my fame was. I managed to get my butt in Vogue.
Your butt in Vogue?
Well, all of me, but my butt, yeah. In Vogue, middle spreads.
Fantastic.
Alongside Duran Duran, which I think was it was like one of my childhood favourite bands. And I
hope they had the magazine in the offie. I really do.
Do you know what they didn't? They closed down after I left. I say I took them with. I took all my people with. I think I closed the place down and left, and everyone left with me. I was like, yeah, buddy.
The offie is off.
The offie is off.
So you shot for Vogue?
Yes, I shot for Vogue. And that was one of the points where I was like, OMG, I am actually a pop star. Like, I am actually famous. What am I doing in Vogue?
Yeah.
Little Lisa Maffia from Brixton.
Yeah.
But I'd be clocking it thinking, is this it? Is this it? You know what I mean?
Well,
it's like
that's
when
just
great things
You're
happen.
Like, what else? I didn't think what else I could possibly do. And then going Jonathan Ross, going Big Weekender.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely humongous. And the sea of people, they just like a blur of colour going back. It was 30,000, 40,000 people watching us. And it's just, when I look back, I'm like, wow, I did that.
I mean, I remember when we did Euro Disney, we went to open Euro Disney, and obviously we didn't realise it, but they'd invited everybody. So there was like, Cliff Richard was there, and Paul Young was there, Darth Vader was there. So it was quite bizarre to be sat on Space Mountain with Paul Young on one side and Darth Vader on the other, and I'm thinking, this is quite freaky.
That is quite a picture.
Head's flying off halfway Space Mountain.
That is some
Exactly,
picture.
yeah. Hearing Darth Vader go, just flying down Space Mountain.
As you shoot off.
That's a great impression.
Yeah.
I'm born in England, but grew up in Spain, and I've only ever seen the Leona Lewis.
Oh, okay.
Which is a great clip to know. Yeah, exactly.
But I knew, of course, like, I knew all about it. And it was more my nan. So, like, in Spain, she had one of those massive, illegal, gigantic satellites that allowed her to get, like, Sky TV, you know? And it's like, she can't get caught. She's not with us anymore, so she can't go to prison.
Too late.
Yeah, too late. Can't catch her. And me and her would watch it. And she loved Leona Lewis. She had like the Leona Lewis book. And she would always say to me, she's like, one day, Matty, I'm going to get you in front of Simon Kerr. And she did.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I knew definitely a lot about it. But I had never sort of religiously watched it.
Video shoots, right, often brought up weird things like the video for Got to Have Your Love.
Yeah.
We definitely didn't have all the permissions to go in. We went to Jamaica for that shoot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And we didn't have all the permission to take all the camera equipment and stuff through the airport for airport security.
Yeah, you could do that now.
So, But what happened then was the label representative that was travelling with us just struck a deal with the guys at security. So they were just in the video. They're just like... They were just like, if we can be in it, we'll let you through. So we did scenes with them in the video. They didn't make the cut. But there are extra. There is. I know.
That's even funny as well.
Yeah.
It's really bad, isn't
Oh.
it? Didn't even uphold our end. They came all in black. I think that because the whole premise of that video was that it was a follow-on from the Just a Little video. So we've been like jewel thieves, and now we're in America. Jamaica, not America. We're in Jamaica. Spending all our, because you see us in the video with all the diamonds and dropping them on the table.
I love
and all
the
that.
idea of sort of like, it's a bit like Beyonce's video with Lady Gaga. It's like a to be continued.
Yeah,
It's like telling a
TBC.
story. Yeah.
What I can say, the opposite to fame, it was no privacy whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that is what I actually had no idea.
Yes.
No one had previously told me that privacy, the incognito mode, deleting history, let's recover, being incognito, which apparently is not even a real thing because they still trace you, whatever it is. But,
Just having internet security advice from Nadia. I mean, that is, what else are you here for?
I don't even know what Windows are we on at the moment. I don't even know. After the last time I knew was Windows 95. I don't know. So, hold on a second. So, to me, opposite of fame was not
Yeah.
having the opportunity to be private.
And I suppose you never regard privacy as a privilege.
No, you
If
don't
you've never been
until you're
famous.
there. Yes.
Yeah.
Because then you see it really. I mean, in that short period of time in my life, even today now, if you do like a before picture from then with my curly, frizzy, black hat
Yeah.
to now blonde, a little bit
Yeah.
more, polished, I guess. I don't know. If you do that split image, people still
Yeah.
see. Once I start talking, if they hear my voice or my laughter,
Yeah.
which was
It's a very distinctive laugh.
yeah,
Nadia.
and it was, it was like a yoga laugh class. You hear it, you would just laugh with me or at me.
Yeah.
Who cares? But everyone was laughing that summer of 2004. So people still have that memory in time. It's imprinted in them.
Let me ask then, because of
I subconsciously, subliminally
Yeah.
have inserted myself in people's memory.
I think that's good.
I feel, I have to take off. I have to peel
I should have
off.
brought one for you.
I know.
I'm sure I've got
like,
one kicking around.
do you still have some at home?
I don't know where they are, but I probably do, yeah.
Okay, well, the signed autograph that I've been waiting 25 years
Oh, just if we could tell little
for. If
Scott,
I could
who was
tell my
crying
dad
in the back
to
of the
say
car.
it was all worth it in the end, I would.
There you go.
Be strong.
Be strong.
I love it.
I am. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe to us on YouTube or at Instagram at Remember Me or on our TikTok page at RememberMeMDS. And you can also follow and watch us on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
Danny, what does MDS mean?
Mic Drop Studios, like and subscribe.
Sorry, yes. Mic Drop Studios, like and subscribe, says producer Danny. You can email us at micdropstudios.com. And you can also visit us at micdropstudios.com/rememberme. Don't forget to leave your comments below about today's episode. We do read every single one. Until next week, goodbye.
Bye.